Forgotten is a psychological thriller from South Korea that slowly pulls the rug out from under the audience. What begins as a mystery about a missing brother turns into a chilling exploration of memory, guilt, and revenge. This explanation follows the story in a clear, flowing narrative, revealing how every twist connects to the next. The story follows Jinseok, a quiet, anxious young man who suffers from hypersensitivity and panic attacks. He lives with his caring older brother Yoo-seok and their parents. From the beginning, Jinseok feels like an outsider, not just in the world, but even in his own family. His brother is confident, athletic, and clearly favored by their parents, while Jinseok constantly feels fragile and overlooked. The family moves into a new house on the outskirts of the city. The home looks normal, but something about it feels wrong. The real estate agent warns them never to open a locked room upstairs, claiming it was sealed for safety reasons. This immediately plants a sense of unease. At night, Jinseok hears disturbing sounds, heavy thuds, dragging noises, and muffled screams, coming from that forbidden room. Everyone else dismisses his fears, blaming his anxiety disorder. But Jinseok knows what he hears is real. One evening, Jinseok witnesses something terrifying. A group of men abduct Yoo-seok right in front of him. Jinseok chases after them but collapses, helpless. The police investigate, but there are no real leads. Days turn into weeks, and hope slowly fades. Jinseok is consumed by guilt. He believes that if he had been stronger or faster, his brother might still be alive. His parents are devastated, especially his mother, who sinks into depression. Then, 19 days later, something impossible happens. Yoo-seok suddenly returns home. At first, the family is overjoyed. But Jinseok immediately senses that something is wrong. Yoo-seok looks the same, speaks the same, but his behavior is off. He has lost his playful warmth and become cold, distant, and emotionally detached. More disturbing is the fact that Yoo-seok claims to remember nothing about his kidnapping. He avoids questions and reacts aggressively when pressed. Small details don't match, habits, preferences, subtle personality traits that Jinseok remembers clearly. Meanwhile, Jinseok begins to notice strange bruises on Yoo-seok's body and sees him meeting suspicious people late at night. The noises from the locked room start again. Jinseok becomes obsessed with the idea that the man who returned is not his real brother. Driven by fear and paranoia, Jinseok secretly follows Yoo-seok. What he uncovers only deepens the mystery. Yoo-seok appears to be involved in violent acts, including murder. Jinseok even discovers a body hidden in the house. The police arrest Jinseok instead. During interrogation, detectives reveal shocking evidence. Jinseok's memories don't align with reality. His timeline is broken. His mental state is far worse than he realizes. And then comes the devastating revelation: the story flips completely. Jinseok is not who he thinks he is. Years ago, Jinseok was actually the older brother, and his real name is Yoo-seok. The man he believes to be his older brother is actually Jinseok, his younger sibling. The reason his memories are distorted is trauma. In the past, Yoo-seok brutally murdered Jinseok after discovering that Jinseok had killed a young girl in a hit-and-run accident. To protect himself, Jinseok manipulated the situation, but Yoo-seok could not live with the guilt and rage. After killing his brother, Yoo-seok's mind fractured. Overwhelmed by trauma, guilt, and regret, he recreated his identity, convincing himself that he was the younger brother who survived. The family played along, hoping this false identity would help him live. The so-called kidnapping was not random. It was carefully planned revenge. The man pretending to be Yoo-seok was actually Jinseok's accomplice from the original crime. He returned to force Yoo-seok to remember the truth, using psychological torture instead of physical violence. The locked room in the house was designed as a trigger. The sounds, the fear, the confusion, all of it was meant to awaken buried memories. And it works. As the truth resurfaces, Yoo-seok is completely shattered. He remembers killing his brother, remembers the girl who died, and realizes that his entire life has been built on a lie. But instead of running from the truth again, he makes a final choice. He accepts responsibility. In the end, Yoo-seok stages events so that justice is served. He allows the cycle of violence and lies to finally stop, at the cost of his own freedom and peace. Forgotten is not just a thriller, it's a story about how the mind protects itself from unbearable guilt. Memory is shown as something fragile, easily reshaped by trauma. The real horror isn't the kidnapping or the murders, but the realization that a person can forget who they truly are to survive. The film's ending leaves the audience disturbed, not because of what happens, but because of what it says about human nature. Sometimes, the scariest prison is the one we build inside our own minds. With its slow-burn pacing, emotional depth, and devastating twist, Forgotten stands as one of the most memorable psychological thrillers in Korean cinema. Every detail, from the locked room to the broken memories, serves a purpose, making the final reveal feel shocking yet inevitable. This is a story where the past refuses to stay buried. no matter how hard the mind tries to forget it.